going out there, YouTube?
So about there, YouTube.
SEL 0320.
Just 030.
Representing JVS. We are back for Walking Dead.
Yeah.
6th season, episode 15.
Yeah.
East. We're about to go into some heavy spoilers, so if you're not seeing the episode, you have to see this episode. You got to watch this, especially leading up to the season finale. Oh my gosh. Take this, put it in your watch later, and then come back to it because we're about to go in. Yeah. Alright, so the biggest thing about the title of this episode is East. And it references back to when Morgan and Rick, they're going out trying to figure out where Carol is because she's left the building. Why? Joe will get to some of the stupid decisions of this episode in a little bit. But basically they go out and try to figure out where he's at. In the middle way of driving, Morgan was saying that before where everything was at as far as, where Carol is versus conjunction where the other people are, that Carol probably went east, she didn't go west. And so that was the reason for the title. But the thing about this episode is I love the conversation with Rick and Morgan. Like, Morgan finally opened up to him about what he did as far as with the wolf and his philosophy. And like, I've been waiting for that. Like, I've waited for that for a long period of time because it didn't get addressed. Like, their differences in morality complex. Like, their morals are totally vexed in a lot of different ways. But it's like Morgan is on a straight path and Rick is on a downward descent. Even in the way he was interacting with Michonne in this episode, I was thinking, it's like, does he really listen to himself? Like, does he really believe that? Or does he think, because he basically kind of alluded to, like, we can control the world. We can do this. We can do that. And it's just like, Morgan was like, no, that's not the person that you are. And he went back specifically to certain events that showed Rick who he was versus who he is now. And I love that whole conversation. I thought it was awesome. What were some of the things you thought was some dumb decisions in this episode?
Okay, so I have to start back to the last episode, firstly with Carol leaving. I thought that was... they kind of explained why she left a little bit vaguely, but to me it didn't really make sense versus the risk she was taking by leaving. Not only she putting herself at risk, but she's putting the group at risk because she is one of the core members of the group that actually can defend herself and defend others well. Yeah. So based on her leaving, I didn't really like that. Now, along with that, right? So, now with her leaving, Daryl then leaves. Okay, which I can kind of justify why he left in the first place because he wanted to avenge Denise's death.
He wanted retribution.
Yeah. So I mean, I can get that. I can kind of get that. Now, he was then followed by Glenn, Rosita, and Michonne. Now, I didn't think that was a smart move from the jump anyway because you're taking pretty much that's like five members of your core group already just left. For reasons that are gambles, not even necessities to the group. So I think that wasn't a smart move. It's very sloppy decision making on their parts. Now, on the third level of stupidity, right? So pretty much, Rosita, Michonne, and Glenn are following Daryl, and then Daryl and Rosita split and go two separate ways from Glenn and Michonne. Now, Glenn and Michonne, then when they go separate ways, Glenn and Michonne don't go back to the car. Why? They go to another location, right? To some type of random lake. And no, to make matters worse, they're sitting in the middle of the woods where they've seen the enemies go before, and they're sitting here arguing in the middle of the daggone wilderness. Like, if we haven't learned anything from Denise's death, you don't sit and talk in the middle of nowhere having a disagreement.
I mean, they're smarter than that.
Yeah.
You already know, like, you got different territories, like the hilltop one, and I mean, even that whole conversation with Carol, which we haven't brought that up. We're going to bring up the two biggest things, which is the Carol thing and then Daryl thing. But the whole concept is that we got all these different factions around you. Why would you have a conversation?
Exactly.
Even before that, why the heck would they split up?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, if Daryl and Rosita are going to go that way and y'all not going to go to the car, y'all might as well follow the ninjas.
That's what I'm saying.
That didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense at all.
I agree with that, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, moving forward, definitely I would say on this on a positive note. Carol, her stupid decision of leaving, she definitely redeemed herself with the running on the road when she just iced like 5 dudes single-handed with a gun up her sleeve.
Man,
Like-
I didn't give him the opening for that.
That joint was straight fire.
Alright, so this is what kind of went down. Basically, Carol goes out on her own, and she passes by some guys in a truck. They shoot out her tire, they threaten her. They basically make remark that they wanted to do something against her sexually or physically. And she just starts to kind of break down. She's holding a rosary in her hand. She's got like her sleeves all the way down. And I thought it was really strange. She had said, y'all should just go away and leave. And I remember the episode before last, she had said that to those other folks. You know, you got an opportunity to leave. And I was like, is she threatening them? You know, and then,
she sure did.
Then all of a sudden, like, they started aiming their guns at her, looking at her. And I don't know how she pulled it on them, but like, I guess that they were thrown off just how much she was shaking and scared that they put their guns back down, because after a second, we just hear like gunfire everywhere. It was like the Punisher. It was like, is John Bernthal came back and Shane just like icing ninjas? Because like all of a sudden you see everybody just blazed out. You see Carol, she's just smoking from her sleeve. She got a freaking machine gun, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this girl is a Rambo, because she still had the rosary in her hand. And then the ninja, you know, one of them was still alive. They went out and left, and all of a sudden, like, she goes and takes the poker and pushes it through the car straight and impaled the ninja. I was like, oh my gosh, this girl is so awesome. But the thing is, there was one other person that was still alive in that truck. And when Rick and Morgan left in their great conversation, he told Rick to go back home and check on the group, and he was going to find Carol. It looked like Carol might be bleeding out. We don't know if Carol got stabbed or not, but regardless of the fact this guy's still alive, it might be that Morgan's going to have to break his one rule. And I think that either one, he's going to be killed, or he's going to be killed, or he's going to kill him. So we'll see where that goes. But the last part, though.
That's what it is, man.
Where's the...
This part I didn't.
I don't got nothing to drag far down with.
This part I didn't like, man.
And he knocked down two numbers because of this. I gave it a 10. Anyway, we get to the very end, and Rosita and why I still don't understand how they found them or how they realized that something happened. Anyway, Rosita and Daryl go back and they try to find them, you know, and they found, you know, Glenn tied up. They found Michonne tied up, and Glenn is like shaking his head like no. And I'm thinking, okay, Daryl, pick up on this. You know something's wrong.
Yeah. And then Michonne started doing it too.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like, Daryl still keeps going. And I'm just saying, no. All of a sudden, you see somebody pulling the gun to his head, and it's Dwight. The very reason why he's out there, he cornered him again. And then, like,
sneaky, bro.
Freaking Rosita is cornered as well. And so, you thinking, okay, maybe they're going to kidnap him. But I'm sitting there watching the long pause that this man's having. And I'm like, yo, he about to shoot this man. All of a sudden, you hear pow. See blood splatter everywhere. And then he's like, oh, you be all right. And I'm like, what? Did they just kill Daryl? What? I mean, I don't know. Y'all tell us in the conversation, y'all think that Daryl's dead. You think he's wounded. He got shot in the shoulder. Then he got shot in the ear. You think he got shot in the eye. I don't really know. Do you think he's dead? I know you don't want him to be. What do you think?
I don't want him to be. But I mean, hey, I hope it's a Glenn situation where anything can go.
But I mean, blood. It's like,
I mean, I don't know. I hope it's a Glenn situation, but I mean, he got shot at point blank range.
He got shot.
You know, so he's probably dead.
Yeah.
I hope he isn't dead, but he's probably dead.
And I can't believe they did that. This the episode before the last.
Yeah.
I mean, not just that. The whole fact is, if now you see me with this guy and everything, if they kill my girl Michonne, I mean Daryl, I think is gonna die. I mean not Daryl, but Glenn. I think that Glenn is gonna die because it's just how inspirational and influential he's been. That this is always a prime setup. He's gonna die. In the comic books, we already know what happens and who dies. Now Daryl's taking out the cable, so 2 more people are probably gonna die. But if they kill Michonne, like, and bring her, they're gonna sit there and bring these 2 people together just for her to die. Oh my gosh, dude! Like, at least chop Rick's arm off. Give him an option whether or not he gonna let his arm be taken off or kill Michonne. Do that. Don't kill her, please. Anyway, I gave this episode a 10. Joe gave this episode an 8. I thought it was a great build up to the season finale. And we'll be back next week. I mean, we're gonna go ahead and start this spoiler reaction discussion with Jarrell's. I don't know if Jeremy's gonna join in. I'm not sure if Joe's gonna join in, but it's gonna be pretty interesting talking about spoilers in a little bit. But yeah, keep it locked. You got anything else? Man?
That's it.
Yeah, yes, we ain't gonna stop. Peace, y'all. I think I just gave somebody the middle finger. My bad. Peace.